Honey Boy is directed by Alma Har'el and stars Lucas Hedges, Noah Jupe, and Shia LaBeouf, and is the story of Shia LaBeouf. Not the entire life story, of course. This focuses on one very specific time in his life when he was still a kid, rising up to be an actor, and his relationship with his father, who is portrayed by LaBeouf in this movie. According to reports, LaBeouf wrote this script for a long time and has been marinating on it for a while as well, and really wanted to tell this story. And it's basically the story of how he was starting out, how he thinks of his father now, all the memories, the good ones, the not so good ones, and how that's shaped him as a human being. This is a film that I was vastly interested in because of the subject matter. If you've seen anything regarding Shia LaBeouf ever since he became such a big household name, he's had a very interesting life.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
And there's a lot of things that can be attributed to what happened now compared to what we've seen in, news and movies before. There's been a lot of stories about him, and while this movie does not have those things, which is fine, this movie deals more with how he became to this the way he is. And I think the film, that way, is brilliant. It's kind of like Rocket Man, because Rocket Man isn't exactly an entire life story of Elton John. It's just a specific part of it. Very similarly, Alma Har'el, her first movie here, does exactly that. And the result is pretty great. This is a really well-told film. It's beautifully acted, written, and directed. And Shia LaBeouf as a writer really has to be praised. Like, this is a really great screenplay. Some of the dialogue, some of the scenes that he has with his young son in this film, that was also him, the interactions that he's having are remarkable. And the way he plays his own father, again, I think is pretty great. If it is to be if we are to go by the fact that that's exactly how the interactions went, which seems pretty factual. And I think he's done a magnificent job. This is the best performance of his career. But really, another star of this film is Noah Jupe, who plays the young Shia LaBeouf, who's called Otis throughout the entire film. His performance is amazing, and it complements LaBeouf's so well. Their dynamic is very well realized. The adult version of LaBeouf, played by Lucas Hedges, is also really, really good. He has some really heartbreaking moments, and there's one scene in particular where he just breaks down, and you actually feel really bad for him for that one moment. The way the film comes around on emotions is staggering, and it really has to be praised. Alma Har'el's direction here is impressive. It never feels like a by-the-numbers film. The film is very detailed in how it explores this personality and how much it's willing to go into detail about certain things. Yes, you don't get information about everything, and there are details even in what we see that are a bit skimmed, which is one minor issue I have with the film. The only one I actually have, which is I do think that the film skims through some things that would have been potentially interesting. It sort of decides to go back to some of the more core elements of the film, but there are other things that are brought up that I wish the film went down the rabbit hole of, and it could have actually come out with some other things, but it doesn't. It decides to keep things very central for the most part. I found that to be a very missed opportunity. I think that they could have unlocked a little bit more there. But the core of the film, I guess, is supposed to be about him with his father, so I can kind of understand why they would shift the focus away from certain other things towards this a little bit more. So it's something that I'm willing to forgive, but it's something that I would still point out as being left wanting more of. Another thing I do want to talk about, though, is that the filmmaking on display, aside from just the writing, acting, direction, is great. It is a very good-looking movie. There's beautiful cinematography. There's a really good use of neon colors at one point during the film, which I was really appreciative of. There's wonderful editing, soundtrack. It's a very well-rounded, well-realized movie. I just wish there was a little bit more of it. And I guess beyond that, there's really no other issue I have with it. But Honey Boy is one of the better films of 2019 and continues a streak of films right now that are just getting better and better. And I'm glad that's the case. I'm gonna give Honey Boy a 9 out of 10. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Look forward to my review of Charlie's Angels very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe. I'll see you guys at the movies.